Everybody to my platinum guide. What we're gonna do today is finish up Tomb of Giants, take down Gravelord Nito, and that's really it. After that we'll be heading through the DLC. This area here is kind of annoying because of these dogs. They can take you out basically in one hit if they do their little sprawl out attack. Now, this doorway right here, usually a fog wall. Once you go through it, you got a skeleton dog right here, got an archer shooting at you, and another skeleton dog down the ramp a little bit. But we're gonna run back because there's a black knight coming up from the bottom right now. Or not. Maybe he decided to stay down at the bottom for once. Usually, the Black Knight will follow you up here. Doesn't look like he's wanting to come out of his hole this time. Well, that works. Come over here, get the effigy shield. Get rid of the archer. Now where you see this item, you're going to want to drop down. Follow the path up for the silver serpent ring. Now the second you get over there, I think about 5 of those skeleton bone towers are going to pop up out of the ground. Alright, now if you didn't die the first time coming over here, you're gonna go this way. There's another bonfire over here. Now at this bonfire, you want to go ahead and restore your humanity because there is a invader right before the cave entrance that we're about to go into. This is how you would get there without taking that drop. Alright, run forward, keeping the wall on your right this time. That was where we got the white chunk. You can just kind of drop down into this hole. You don't really need to bother with the ladder. Now, what you want to do is just run. Once you get to that archway there, just kind of just run all the way to the end of this trail. You should be able to get a backstab on him. I am popping these humanity because the skeletons in here, the little baby skeletons, they drop more humanities, and also the rest of the pinwheels you're going to fight in here, you can get the rest of the masks from them. Now you want to run forward and you want to try to one-shot that archer. But there is a sword-wielding skeleton right behind it. while these babies aren't going to do too much damage to you, they do inflict toxic. So, now we can max out the divine weapon. You can equip a divine sword here, but Nito is weak to fire. The divine sword would mostly be so that the skeletons that are in the area don't come back up, because if you don't use a divine weapon, they'll just continuously keep popping back up. But what we're going to do is stay basically right at the little entrance that you drop down into. Stay as tucked to that wall as you can until he comes forward, so then that you don't have as many skeletons coming after you. If you can stay back there, you'll only have maybe 2 or 3 skeletons come out. And if you think you're pretty decent, then you can put the divine sword on, get rid of the 2 or 3 that come up, and then switch to fire. As you can see, 3 skeletons come up even from just standing right here, and you do take that little bit of fall damage. So, like I said, if you wanted to drop down in here with a divine sword, hit those 3, permanently get rid of them, then switch to a fire to take out Nito. Might be a little bit better of a tactic. I might just go ahead and let him kill me just so I can do that. Nito doesn't have too many things. Once you see him ducking down like that, just back away and shield up. He's going to do his little blast. Now that blast will also hurt the skeletons, so if you can kind of just stay as close as possible to him, he'll keep spamming that, and that will keep getting rid of the skeletons for you. See? So you don't have to worry about them. He will keep taking them out, but if you're worried about the little tick damage that they do, go ahead and drop down in there with the divine sword, and then switch over to fire. got rid of him. Stick to the fire. Now wait for him to come to you. I mean, I'm not really too worried about healing here because most of his moves are very telegraphed. He has a couple swings here and there. He won't really do the Gravelord sword dance unless you're away from him. So if you stay tucked to him like this, he'll either do that, the AoE blast, which I should have just blocked, but he'll either do the AoE blast or he'll do the sword swings, which the sword swings are fairly easy to dodge. And you just stay tucked close to him and keep pecking away at his health with a fire sword. And once he dies, all the skeletons and giant skeletons in there, they just all die at once. So you don't have to worry about them trying to make it to the bonfire. You'll get this if you defeated Paladin Leroy. Here's his armor. You don't really need his armor for the trophy, just the weapon and shield that you get from beating the invader. But, I mean, it's actually pretty decent armor, so. Alright, now that was the last Lord's Soul, gonna go ahead and either head to the abyss or just drop down into Framp's hole and head to the Firelink altar.
I am your guardian. Go on. Very well. Be still. Entrust thy flesh to me.
Now, this opens the chamber for you to go in and, you know, fight the final boss of the game. We're not going to do that just yet. We are going to go ahead and run through the DLC, but I am going to run through here, get all the Black Knight weapons and the Black Knight armor, show you where Solaire's summon sign would be, and then continue on to the DLC. This is a nice place to do the DLC instead of doing it as soon as you get the pendant, because, you know, if you try to go in as soon as you get that pendant, which is as soon as you go through the archives, you're probably not going to be strong enough. You may have one maxed out weapon and your stats will be okay, but you'll probably be struggling through it. Especially against Manus. A lot of people have a hard time with Artorias as well. that just goes to show you don't mess with your stuff, you know, while there are enemies around. I don't know why I was doing that, but... I did equip the Covetous Gold to try and make sure I get all of the weapons through here. Because each of these Black Knights will drop each of the weapons. And all five weapons? Yeah, they're all in here. 4. You have the Greatsword, Ultra Greatsword, Halberd, and Great Axe. So, 4. And, well, you also have to get a hold of the shield, too, so yeah, I guess 5 items. The shield is the main one I have an issue with. I can get these guys to drop their weapons all day. It's the shield that I have a hard time getting. Careful running across here. Turn immediately to the right and then turn around. I usually run and get this armor first. But there's going to be a Black Knight coming your way. Whenever that armor isn't there, just kind of turn to the right, go to the middle of this one, and just wait. Don't try to fight him on where he is. It's a very small space. Alright, and now since we went in there, you know, killed the Sunlight Maggot and saved Solaire, Solaire's summon sign will be right here whenever we go to fight the boss. And always remember, against these Black Knights, if they do a jumping attack, you cannot parry that. And don't try to parry any two-handed attacks either. Just like when fighting Havel, if he's one-handing the drumstick, go for it. If he's two-handing it, don't even try. And of course, the one I always have the most trouble with is the one that's right in front of the boss door. The Halberd. That wasn't too bad. Alright. There's the door for the final boss. For Gwyn. Alright, and since we saved that chick down in the tomb with the 2 NPCs, we can go talk to her, buy some magic off of her. And the main one I'm going to get off of her is Homeward. Because we have more than enough faith right now to use it. And, you know, obviously it saves on buying Homeward Bones. It is one of the lowest faith requirements, too, for the magics, so, out of the miracles. So it really doesn't take much to use, so even if you're not, you know, even if you don't plan on using miracles, you could always just give yourself enough faith that you can use Homeward, so you don't have to worry about Homeward Bones. And it only requires one attunement slot, which you already have. The place where we fought the gargoyles, which is right above Andre, that's where she's waiting, right where we got that Firekeeper soul. I may or may not go do that right now. It's like it knows.
Hello, I am Deepful. It was... I cannot, in case you have not heard. I only wish there was... But I am inexperienced. If that could be... Would a miracle... I would be most... May we...
Now, you really don't have to pick up the gestures. There's not a trophy in Dark Souls 1 for gestures. There is in 2, and I believe in 3. But in those, you also keep the gestures that you learn. In Dark Souls 1, every single playthrough you do, you have to relearn the gestures. So, pick up the ones you want, don't worry about the rest. I just have a habit of always going through and grabbing them.
Vince and Nico were my Peter's bat and thus then be safe. Farewell.
We will come back and kill her later, which she has a fairly decent talisman with her whenever you kill her. And I do believe that one is part of the trophy as well.
Me? I've scoured near and where could she have gone, milady? Your Highness, I am in... Oh, whoa.
As you can tell, she's safe, but she doesn't want him to know where she is. Kind of, you know, hiding.
Oh, they must have.
So,
It seems
you know,
that
killing
he's
him
dead.
isn't
You
going
seem
to
up
affect
with
anything
them
with her.
before-
Oh, hello. Then let us, as promised.
Only going through and purchasing the ones that I haven't just picked up. Because obviously I'm not a sorcerer, I'm not really going to be using any sorceries. Grabbing a couple of these to make the boss catalysts.
All right. That should help. May we meet?
And that's going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. Whenever we come back, we're going to get started on the Artorias of the Abyss DLC.